Right, guys, so I've been reading for the last year to try to improve my brain and, to improve the quality of my YouTube videos. But, I was reading this book here, Star Wars Aftermath, and I've just realized something. I can't really seem to remember much of what I actually read in the book because I don't think I understand it that well. I think maybe it's too complicated for a person with my reading level, and I've noticed I've been doing this a lot lately. I've been reading books that are very difficult to understand. I read Elon Musk's book. I was trying to read a bit of 1984, George Orwell. Couldn't really understand much of it. I realized it's not really enjoyable reading a book you don't understand. I was probably better off to get a book that is a little bit easier that I do actually understand. And give you an example. I read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book is written in a very simple way, in a way that I can understand it. And I actually managed to write a six A4 page essay on the book after reading it without actually looking back at the book. I actually did make a video about that called Rich Dad Poor Dad Summary. And yeah, that's what I want from books. I want to remember stuff. I want to learn stuff. So yeah, I decided to stop reading this book. Put that away. So I'm going to start reading kind of easier books from now on. I'm reading Rob Kearney's book. He's an Irish rugby player. I started reading that book today, and yeah, I can understand the book. I get what's going on. I think that I did highlight a few words that I couldn't understand that I'll probably Google. I'll try to Google the definitions in the nearby future. So yeah, and I'll probably try to read Star Wars Aftermath again in maybe like 6 months or something when my reading brain has improved and hopefully I can understand it better. But why am I reading books that I don't understand? That's a bit silly, right? Well, I think I got that idea from school. In school, when I was reading, I couldn't understand what was going on in the books. And that was a serious problem. You know what I mean? But the school system doesn't care. It's like, oh, whether you can understand this book or not, it doesn't matter. This is the book we're doing, regardless. And that's really stupid, and that has to stop. But I'm starting to realize that now. I've been reading for the last year. My brain has improved quite a bit, and I'm able to notice things more. I'm a better problem solver than I would have been last year. Okay, because I've been in the education system for 17 years. I felt like none of the teachers really helped me much, so I felt like I just had to kind of do it my own way, and that's what I did. But I still looking back, I've definitely made a few mistakes that I would do differently. But still, despite that, even reading books that I didn't understand, I still improved my brain. I sharpened my brain. But the problem is, if you're not understanding what you're reading, it's not very enjoyable, is it now? Um, I guess for last year, I've only been reading for 20 minutes a day, so it's kind of easy to motivate yourself to read for 20 minutes a day. Recently, I've increased that to 25 minutes per day. So yeah, that's my advice. Read simple books. Even if you're an adult and you have a really low reading age, maybe you could read children's books. Or you could do a Google search to see what books are. If you have a below average IQ, you could do a Google search to see what books are appropriate for a person with a low IQ. Yeah, personally, these kind of books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I would recommend that book. It's quite simple. Autobiographies tend to be quite simple. Wouldn't really recommend Elon Musk's book. I read that book. It's a little bit complicated. It's not too bad. I still remember a good bit of what goes on in there. Waterford Whispers, it's probably okay. Yeah, Sean Kavanagh, have his autobiography. Mo Farah's autobiography as well. And I think those books are good for people maybe who don't have the highest reading age. Dangerous Games, another book. I think that's a book kind of more appropriate for teenagers. Yeah, I'd recommend a book like this. Um, you know, and also read this book, St. Patrick. Quite simple, easy to understand. I got those last two books from the library. I need to return them. I think I'm like a month past the return date, but they're not really giving out fines, so I think I'm pretty chilled about that. I will give it back eventually though. Yeah, so yeah, that's my video. I don't think of anything else to say, do I? No.